Well, floorball fans, we are just moments away here from the next game here from day 4 of the 2023 NAFL season between the Florida Vikings and the Fort Worth Jaguars. This is a familiar matchup for the NAFL fans. This is a Troy Cup rematch. Last season, the Florida Vikings pulling away, winning in the Troy Cup Finals 11-3. With the Jaguars being the runner-up team, they've certainly had a dominant performance so far this season as a team. But the Fort Worth Jaguars now coming out ahead in the Link rankings so far. Currently, Fort Worth the only team with an undefeated record. They're going to look to continue that as Florida continues to continue on their road to the championship. The recovery there on the face-off by Florida. Bexbucka, the pass down the line to Janacek. Down, trying to find Kopetsky. Kopetsky in the corner there. Alone and releasing. The ball chipped away there by number 98, Yoel Acruz. Acruz, also the head coach of the Jaguars team. This is his first time getting playing time on the court for the team. Also starting on the first line that they're playing today. The ball chipped up by Sorio, shot it up by Kopetsky, sails wide left. Sorio gets it out to Sami Alonen. Acruz, far wing. Goes to Angersteig. Holomotsky pushing him back out alone into the cross to Acruz. Down the line, Angersteig, far wing. Heading back down. Kopetsky nearly intercepting the ball. Acruz now coming in, center lane. The pass out to Angersteig. Slow offense here from the Jaguars. It's one of their trademarks. Florida defense able to speed them up a bit there. That was Holomotsky able to get the ball out. Substitutions here for both teams. Jaguars bringing out their traditional first line. Onefors taking the ball back to his own goal line. Of course, the staple of the Fort Worth offense is a slow passing game, a very finished style of play in floorball. Biding their time in the backcourt until they see an opportunity. Apparently, Pisela thought he found one. The pass down to Dokledal. He's behind the goal line. Out to Strumer. Back to Onefors. Ole Strum there on the defense. He'll force a pass to Strumer. Dokledal now. Ball chipped away. Max Lindborg, whose birthday is today, with the chip there. Now they'll have the ball behind the goal line. I'm sure he'll be hoping for an exciting birthday performance here for the Vikings. Coming down, close wing. The pass over to Matson. And that chip pass goes wild, goes into the backcourt. Linus Malmström, number 77, coming in there, the player from the Swedish men's national team. Driving down, gets a shot attempt off. It goes off the body of number 22, Onefors. Dokledal there in the corner. Jalovi, the pass attempt to Malmström. Too powerful, sailing wide into the corner. It's Malmström there, forcing the pass to Strumer, but Fort Worth able to recover well. Now it's down to Roimala. Roimala, it's good! Seti Roimala able to get a ball around superstar goalkeeper Petr Schlad. An impressive performance just over 2.5 minutes into the game. Fort Worth first on the board. It's now Florida 0, Fort Worth 1. And with that goal, Seti Roimala now putting himself in the lead in the points race in the NAFL. 8 goals, 3 assists for 11 points. He's followed in second place by number 22, Onefors, also of the Jaguars, who we saw on the same line. Putting those two together has been an electric combination so far for the Jaguars this season. And they're already letting sparks fly early here in the matchup against the Vikings. Bexbucka off the wall to Williamson. Williamson now trying to get a pass to Larson. Ryan Folick on him tight. The pass out. Liam Williamson chips the ball up in the air. Matt Nunez trying to recover for the Jaguars. Nunez goes down. Down the line. Bexbucka in the far corner. He's facing double team defense. The hit's going to be awarded to Florida there. Substitutions now for both teams. The pass to Jalovi. Lindborg to Janacek. Wojtek Janacek now coming center line. The pass back out to Lindborg. Down, Jalovi now cycling in, center lane. Go off the body of Jaros to Kopetsky off the wall. Janicek trying to get it in. It goes off the feet of Joel Ekru, sailing now behind the goal line. Fort Worth recovering. Jaros trying to get around Lindborg, unable to. Double hustle from him to try and make up for it. Ball still in play. It's a physical battle there. Jaros coming around the line. Christian Sorio now of the Jaguars. The pass to Joel Ekru. Tension certainly going to run high in this game. That's the expectation with the rematch from the Troy Cup Finals. These are two consistently high-performing teams in the NAFL. And two of the teams with some of the best records so far on the season. It's going to be interesting to see how they develop as time goes on. Certainly looking like playoff contenders early in the season, but of course, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where anything can change, and we're not even halfway through the season yet. Wojtek Janicek, the pass, getting over to Holomotsky. Janicek unable to convert for a shot attempt. Now it's Christian Sorio in the back corner, facing Holomotsky, able to break away. And the Vikings retreating. Pipis Thrumer bringing the ball far side. Back to number 22, One Force. One Force taking it slow. And he'll go with a quick move around Ole Strum. Strum, of course, a hard-working defender for the Florida Vikings. He's known for his hustle on the court, waiting for the right moment. He certainly knows when to pounce and break up an offense. We can see it here. He's forced Fort Worth into overdrive. The save by Petr Slad. Unbelievable. Number 88, Pepe Strumer with an on-target goal. Had a lot of power. Petr Slad, right place, right time. Over 5 minutes have elapsed in the first period. Fort Worth still the only team with a point on the board. Malmstrom, the juke around. The pass to Strum, it's in the far corner after sailing wide. He'll go to Bexbucka. Shot attempt, powerful through the legs of Roimala, but it sails out of bounds. It'll be Florida's hit in. It'll be Luke Williamson there with Alexander Larson to take the hit for the Vikings. Larson now. Looking down, he'll find Lindborg. Jalovi, far wing. Back to Lindborg. The shot attempt, saved by Ture Husi. Down the line, back to Lindborg, center court. Jalovi to Lindborg. Coming in, will he make another attempt? He will. This time off the body of Matt Nunez. Radical with the pass attempt to Folik, taken there by Holomotsky. Nico Gray there fighting hard to get possession back here for the Jaguars off the back wall. Matt Nunez. He'll pass it back to Ipalunki. Luke Williamson on the press for Florida. The far pass to Joel Cruz. He'll stand behind his goal line while his team makes substitutions. Slowly inbounding. Again, it's the slow-paced passing play that we know we're going to expect from the Jaguars. The chip away there by Bexbucka. It'll be a hit awarded to Fort Worth. We'll see if they can get another offensive opportunity going. Sorio, he has Angerstig for support. Instead, it'll go to Sami Alonen. Over to Acruz. Down the line, off the wall to Sorio. Around the goal line, double team coverage. Williamson releasing. Angerstig now with the ball. Off the feet of Kopetsky. It's going to be another hit here for the Jaguars. Doing a great job of building early momentum. Sami Alonen. Cross court to Sorio. A soft pass there, barely recovered by Jakub Jaros. Still trying to recover it. Holomotsky on him tight. It's a hard-fought battle. Holomotsky able to get the angle, but it will be another hit for the Jaguars. Florida, a team that has really put their heart and soul into the first 3 games of the season. They came in and played in the inaugural game of the 2023 season and had an unexpected loss, 10-7 versus the new expansion team, the Minnesota Growlers. It certainly wasn't the first step they were hoping to take on their path back to the Troy Cup, but ever since then, They've kicked into shape, built team chemistry, and really shown signs of greatness as a team. Pepe Strumer, far side, back to Force. On it, Force. The juke around Strum, center court. Roimala, shot sails just wide left. Peter Slad there on the recovery. Slad, of course, all NAFL first-team goalkeeper last season with the champion Florida Vikings. He's a returner now, and he's been providing a phenomenal job for the Vikings so far. On a Force. The pass to Pisila. Pisila back to Force. Fort Worth's strategy here often helps them to control the pace of the game, let it be on their own terms, so they can put the heat on. Shot by Dokledal, sails wide left. Pisila off the back wall to Strumer, back to Pisila. Pisila missing that pass. Jalovi sending it down the wall. Malmstrom able to chip it up. Matson off the wall, back to Malmstrom. Strum putting Florida on the board. It's Ole Strum. 11:17 remaining in the first. It's back to a tie ball game. Your score, Vikings 1, Jaguars 1. It's number 87. Ole Strum with a phenomenal shot there. His aggression, his hustle on the court is what creates a lot of those opportunities. And he's certainly done a good job of it so far today. On the defense, now on the offense. As we head back down for the face-off, it's going to be Ryan Folick, number 70, against number 89, Alexander Larson. Williamson, the pass out to Bexbucka as the Vikings recover the face-off. Over to Larson, sending it down deep, looking for Williamson. Nunez able to box him out, but he's going to send the ball out of bounds. It'll be Fort Worth's hit-in. Ipalunki. Cross-court pass to Nunez. Coming down the line, close. Deep shot attempt. Goes into the hands of Peter Slad. Oliver Bexbucka. Missing that pass. It'll go to Holomotsky. Nico Gray trying to press. Put the pressure on as a result. Bexbucka. Middle pass. Larson to Holomotsky. Chipped away there by Lunki. Bexbucka keeping it in play. With a pass to Williamson. It goes straight into the hands of Ture Husi. He'll send it to Lunki behind the goal line. His team making substitutions. Now Jakub Jarosz with the ball. And he's driving down as Florida makes substitutions. He'll pass to A. Cruz. Back down to Jarosz. Fort Worth needing some more support down court for a drive like that. Kopetsky now pressuring. Angersteig in Florida territory. Chipped away by Jalovi. 3 men on him. They'll be able to chip it away. Jarosz there to pick up the pieces. Goes off the foot of Holomotsky. Coming around. And the shot attempt goes off the stick there of Max Lindborg. Angersteig still able to recover the pass out to A. Cruz. Sami alone in close wing, missing that pass. Kopetsky capitalizing. Trying to find an opportunity. He'll go to Lindborg. Jalovi. Lindborg again. Center lane. Coming in close. The shot attempt off the helmet of Ture Husi. Beautiful defense from Fort Worth there. Another save by Husi. The shot attempt there by Jakub Kopetsky. Less than 10 minutes remain in the first period. Still a tie ball game between Florida and Fort Worth. The pass to Angersteig. Far wing. Back to A. Cruz. A. Cruz coming down the line. Angersteig trying to make a move. He'll go to the ground. The hit awarded there to Fort Worth. Florida not happy about the call. Team captain Linus Malmstrom discussing there with referee Sean Eden. Roimala and Force. Force, the pass to Strumer. Back to Force. Ole Strum pressing up tight. Pisila still able to get a shot off. Saved by Peter Slad. It'll be Fort Worth's hit in. They'll take it quick. Pisila shot sails wide left. Alex Dokledal. The pass down to One Force going wild. Ole Strum going to let off on the defense there. Still the spearhead of the 1-2-2 zone. Pisila down off the wall to his man Strumer. Back to Pisila. Shot attempt again, wide left. Dokledal. Shot saved by Peter Slad. He'll send it to Bexbucka. Off the wall, Emil Matson. He'll find Strum. Play's going to be stopped. It'll be a face-off in the far corner as the ball hit referee Sean Eden's foot in the fast-paced play. Bisila with the gentleman's face-off, sending it down to Florida. Jalovi now with the ball, far wing. He'll pass it to Lindborg. And the Jags calling for a full-court press on the defense here. It's a new tactic. Malmstrom behind his own goal line. Dokledal pressing. Spin around, looking for an opportunity. Go to Jalovi, cross court, finds Holomotski. And Jalovi, the spin to try and break Dokledal. Dokledal staying on him, tight in man coverage there. And on a force there, blocking the pass. For a second there, it was true man coverage from the Fort Worth Jaguars. It's certainly been a rarity to this point in the NAFL. On a force now with the ball. Far side, mid-court. The pass to Strumer. Strumer retreating into Jaguars territory. Will go with the pass to Pisila. Pisila in the middle. Dokledal out to Strumer. Great passing action here. Roimala coming in tight. Behind the goal line. Facing double-team defense. Jalovi chipping it away. A dangerous move there, and it'll go straight into the hands of Peter Slad. Still full-court press defense here. Strumer coming up on Jalovi. Jalovi throwing a shoulder there into Strumer. Physical defense. Strumer's retaliation going to get the ball awarded to the Florida Vikings. 7 minutes remain in the first period. Still 1-1. Bexbuka to Wojciech Janacek driving in. The pass to Kopetsky, but Akrus is able to chip it away there before he can get a shot off. Akrus down the wall looking for Sorio. Cross court to Dokledal. Joel Akrus now. Down to Ilonen. Akrus to Jaros. Akrus off the wall, finds Angersteig. Sorio now in the far corner against Oliver Bexbuka. Interesting box-out technique. It won't work. Angersteig still able to get the ball. Akrus now in Fort Worth territory. Kopetsky on the press. Seems to be effective, forcing a pass to Sorio, but Ilonen has open court. Ilonen backing off there with pressure from Wojciech Janacek. Off the wall, Angersteig. Down to Jaros, coming in close. It'll go through the box. Janacek heading it back out to the back. Oliver Bexbuka and Jakub Jaros taking out the back wall. The trumpet sound there and the walls of Jericho fall. It'll be Florida's ball after the wall is repaired. Jalovi helping there to repair the wall. And play set to resume. It'll be number 88, Max Lindborg, set to take it. Matson coming up for support. Lindborg back down. Matson facing pressure from Roimala. Matson able to get the angle on Roimala. The pass out to Lindborg. A lot of defense here from Fort Worth. Bisila able to get the steal. The pass out to Onefors. Fort Worth going to slow down, set up their offense. Strumer to force. Fort Worth, of course, is a team who shines in the 11th hour, especially yesterday, their game against the Texas Tornadoes. And they're going to have to make a comeback now. Malmstrom on a fast break goal. Unexpected by Fort Worth. Virtually no opposition there. 5:18 remaining in the first period. Florida back on top. Your score, Vikings 2, Jaguars 1. This is no unfamiliar situation, though, for the Jaguars. They're a team who knows how to come back in the moments when it matters most. They certainly are clutch. A lot of their victories being hard-fought, coming from the third period. They may just have to do it now if they can't get their offensive gears going enough to get a tie or to get a lead over the Vikings. Recovery there by Florida. The pass to Bexbucka. Going down. Number 23, Liam Williamson. Sending a pass to Larson. It'll sail wide. Alexander Larson looking for an opportunity. He'll go over to Williamson. Williamson sends a ball down. Goes off the body of Lunki. Turre Husi there to catch it. Ipa Lunki, far side. Cross court to Matt Nunez. Back down, Lunki. Deep pass down the line to Tyler Radical in the corner. Bexbucka again tumbling over the wall. And for the second time, it's a Florida hit. Bexbucka going to come off now. Looks like there might have been a slight injury there on the collision with the wall. Lucas Yalavi will go with a pass to Lindborg to resume play. Less than 5 minutes remaining in the first. Wojtek Janacek back to Lindborg. Over to Yalavi. Cross court. Wojtek Janacek. Pass back out to Lindborg. Now in the close wing. They go over. Yalavi driving. Over to Kopetsky. Goes off the legs of Sami Alonen. Christian Sario recovering, driving into Florida territory. The pass to Angerstieg. Blocked off the stick of Wojtek Janacek. Alonen. The pass to Angerstieg. A second attempt by him. This time saved by Peter Slad. 4 minutes remain in the first. Florida with a 1-goal lead. Lindborg, center lane, back to Yalavi. Yalavi on the inside, looking for Holomoski. Steal there by Ole Cruz. Trying to get it to Jaros. It's a hard battle for possession. Jaros going to the ground. It'll be a push call, Fort Worth ball. Number 94, Seti Roimala, handing it off to Dokledal, and Pisila will be there to take it. Pisila over to Force. Backing into his own territory. Deep pass down now to Roimala. The shot attempt sailing wide left. Dokledal on the recovery to Pisila. Pass going wide. Dokledal still able to chip it out to Force. Ole Strum showing what he's made of on defense, getting in tight. Roimala, the ball chipped away there by Liam Williamson. One Force forced to make a pass to Dokledal. Pisila back to Dokledal. Dokledal still holding the ball. We go with a pass to One Force deep in Fort Worth territory. 3 minutes remaining in the first. Fort Worth still down 1. Force down, off the wall. Roimala. Pass goes off the leg of Williamson. He kicks it out. Now it's Linus Malmstrom on the attack. The pass in to Ollie Strum. It'll be on the wrong side of him. Caught there by Turre Husi. Force, the pass to Pisila. Pepe Strumer. Back to One Force. Faking out several passes. Still staying with the ball. Go to Pisila. Pisila now. Coming in closer. Force, deep pass. Down to Roimala. Saved there by Slad. Malmstrom. Coming around. Splitting the gap. Slad looking there for a foul. It doesn't matter, though. Linus Malmstrom able to get all the way down. And it's a no-goal call. Malmstrom sent a ball down. Goes off the body of Turre Husi. Emil Madsen appears to chip it in. Referees now discussing. It's Vince Faso and Sean Eden. But it appears there was a violation and a play stoppage before the ball entered the net. Captain Linus Malmstrom certainly not happy. Oliver Bexbucka chirping there from the Florida Vikings substitution zone. Obviously, in a rematch from the Troy Cup final such as this, tensions are bound to be high. It looks like it's happening early here off of this call. And the no-goal call is going to stand. Emil Matson set to take a free hit here. Yes, Malmstrom. Over to Malmstrom. What a goal! The perfect way to respond to that no-goal call is to score one yourself. A beautiful job there in a crowded box. 8-9 players in there. Matson with the assist there to Malmstrom, sends it behind the back with fancy stick work. 2:03, and the Vikings extend their lead. Your score, Florida Vikings 3, Fort Worth Jaguars 1. Incredible play there by the Vikings, already getting down there and making an opportunity before that no-goal call, and then still able to convert. It'll be a replay of the face-off here. Angerstieg on Kopetsky. Recovery by Florida. Jalovi. Pass. Wojtek Janacek. Back down. Max Lindborg. Lindborg in the center. Down to Wojtek Janacek. Powerful shot attempt just high over the goal. It's going to be a Jaguars hit in. Jole Cruz. The pass to Alonen. Back to A. Cruz. Taking his time off the wall. Find Angerstieg. Christian Sario now in the far corner. Lindborg kicking it away, but it's going to be a Jaguars free hit. Angerstieg here. The pass down the line to A. Cruz. Angerstieg, shot attempt sails high out of bounds. It's going to be a Vikings hit in. Less than a minute and a half remaining in the first. Fort Worth facing a 2-goal deficit. They're no strangers to that situation. Their first game of the 2023 season against the Ohio Aviators, they were battling an 8-4 deficit. And yet they came back in the 11th hour to come back and win it all. Saved there by Turre Husi. Fort Worth Jaguars winning with a 2-goal sequence in under a minute's time. Oskari Pisela with a game-winning goal in the last 15 seconds of that match. It was quite the way for Fort Worth to start their season. Less than a minute remaining now. Things heating up in Jaguar territory. Jaros kicking the ball away, finding it to Alonen. Wojtek Janacek on him tight. Florida not letting off the pressure. Kopetsky there with a steal. Sorio pushing it to the back wall. Some shoulder-to-shoulder action there between him and Kopetsky. Pepe Strumer now on the far wing. Trying to capitalize on Florida, making substitutions. Jalovi able to get the block there. Less than 30 seconds. Over to Malmstrom. Over to Strum. And it's good. Ole Strum's second goal of the day off the assist from Malmstrom between the legs of Turre Husi. 21 seconds left on the clock in the first. Florida now with a 3-goal lead. Your score, Vikings 4, Jaguars 1. Onefors down on the court. Set to take the face-off here. He'll be facing off against number 17, Emil Matson of the Vikings. The call from the Florida bench. 20 seconds left. Make them count. Play hard. Recovery there by Fort Worth. Pepe Strumer. Pushing down the line. Back to Onefors. 15 seconds. Over to Pisela. Pisela driving down. Deep shot attempt to Strumer. He's looking for Roimala, but he's not there. Can they recover the kick by Malmstrom? One final attempt before time ends. The save by Turre Husi. And at the end of the first period, your score from Georgetown, Texas, it's the Florida Vikings 4, Fort Worth Jaguars 1. Folks, it's been a high-level, highly skilled game of floorball so far, so don't worry. In less than 10 minutes, we're going to be bringing you more action between the Vikings and the Jaguars. And, of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we'll have another exclusive player interview. The North American Floorball League, we've just gotten done with the first exciting period here between the Florida Vikings and the Fort Worth Jaguars, a Troy Cup rematch here. I'm joined here by number 17, Emil Monson. How are you feeling about your team's performance after the first?
It's decent. We work on and it's get better and better the longer the period goes. So.
What do you think has been the key for 3 unanswered goals that you've put on the board in the first? What do you think was kicking for your team?
I think we go straight to the goal and it goes in. So.
Now, what do you think is going to be the key in the second and third periods to ensure that Fort Worth doesn't come back, doesn't challenge the lead?
That's some work. Just keep going. Yeah.
Keep going. Well, you heard it here from Emil Monson. Thank you so much for joining us, Emil. Best of luck in the second and third. Floorball fans, you're not going to want to miss what comes next as the Florida Vikings take on the Fort Worth Jaguars. We'll be back with the second period in just a few. Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to head back down to the court for the second period of floorball action between the Vikings and the Jaguars. But before we do, we'd like to remind you that the NAFL wouldn't be possible without the support of our sponsors. As you know, we sent our explorers out to search the galaxy. They came back and told us there was only one stop for everything floorball. Floorballplanet.com. Whether it's for yourself or a club, choose floorballplanet.com. And, of course, we have an official clothing partner for the 2023 NAFL season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, you like Kempa, from head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And, of course, as we head down for the face-off, you can trust that our game ball is the only official game ball of the NAFL. Excel, because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. And with the buzzer, we're ready to resume play and begin the second period. It's going to be Angersteig for the Jaguars, Kopetsky for the Vikings. The Vikings coming in now with a lot of momentum towards the end of the first period. An unanswered 3-goal run from the Vikings has led them to really cement the mental game. We spoke during the intermission with number 17, Emil Mattsson. He said the key is just to continue to work hard. He felt that his team was doing a great job. What was vital for them in the first period was getting direct straight to the goal. That was their aim the whole time. No perimeter passing, no perimeter looks. It was just about driving. And we can see that it's paid off based on the score that continues to increase. Goal there by Oliver Bexbucka early on, less than 30 seconds into the second period. And Oliver Bexbucka with a look direct to the goal, a sweep shot from the middle. It's exactly what Mattsson was talking about, and it's continuing to lead Florida to success. 19 minutes, 31 seconds still in the second period. Your score now, Florida Vikings 5, Fort Worth Jaguars 1. An impressive display from the Vikings. Already striking first here, maintaining momentum. And Bisila just barely able to get a pass off to Pepe Stromer. Ole Strom there on the attack. Went down with some shoulder-to-shoulder contact with Bisila. Bisila, of course, with a much larger frame, one of the larger players in the NAFL, able to use his extra height in some very physical defense. One force now, facing pressure from Strom. The pass down, Bisila. Looking down, chipped away by Mattsson. Dokledal still fighting for possession there. He'll step on it. It sends Limborg to the ground. Play still going on. Pepe Stromer spinning around. Lindborg back to his feet, chipping the ball away. Stromer heading into the wall. It's going to be a Fort Worth hit here. Seti Roimala set to take it. Off the back wall. The referee's calling it needed to be played from the far side, so now it'll be Pepe Stromer. The pass to Dokledal. Pisala shot attempt goes off the body of Malmstrom. Linus Malmstrom driving down the ball, sailing into open waters. It's a wild, mad grab there. 1-on-2 for Florida. Roimala chipping it out. Mattsson able to get it over to Malmstrom. Goes off the body of Roimala. Mattsson still fighting for possession there on the close wing. Linus Malmstrom there looking for a call. Bexbucka to Jalovi. Off the top bar. So close. Seti Roimala now on fast break, saved by Schlad. Mattsson, the pass off the wall. He'll find Malmstrom. 2 minutes have passed in the second period, and it's already been an exciting, high-energy, fast-paced period of play. Olomotsky now on the close wing. Driving in towards the center of the steal there by Ryan Folick. Folick again blocking a pass, forcing Liam Williamson down deep into his own territory. Williamson trying to box him out. On the wall, I'll have to pass it to Larson. Larson now going behind his own goal, facing defense from Nico Gray. Larson, pass taken there by Radical, whose shot sails wide right. Hits the board, sails out of bounds. He's not happy about that one. It'll be Florida's hit in with 17:33 still to go in the second. Lindborg over to Wojciech Janacek, coming in the center now. Lindborg going over. Janacek sending it deep. It'll sail past the goal. Kopetsky there to recover for the Vikings. In the middle, Wojciech Janacek's shot goes off the body there of Angersteig. Cruz sends it to Alonen. Fort Worth going to look to reset. We're seeing a lot more play this game between Fort Worth's second and third lines than we normally do. Looking to give some of their star finish players on the first line some rest. Cruz sending it down around the bend to Sami Alonen. Back to Cruz. Down, off the line, off the wall. Engerstieg, back to Cruz. Engerstieg driving in, center court now. The pass over to Jaros, driving. Goes off the body of Schlad. It's going to be a Jaguars hit in. Pepe Strumer set to take it here for Fort Worth. Roimala off the wall. On a force now. He's got Pisila far. On a force. Over to Oskari Pisila. Deep pass intended for Strumer. Blocked by Bexbucke. Pass sailing wide past Pisila. Pisila going into the wall. It's going to be a Fort Worth hit. They're calling it a push on Oli Strum's defense. Pisila visibly upset, hitting the boards there. Referee Vince Faso calling for Pisila to relax. Need to take some time here to repair the outer wall. That was an intense contact there between Strum and Pisila. Obviously, tensions running high in the Troy Cup rematch. On a force, Roimala, shot sails wide left. Bexbucke there to recover for Florida. He'll pass it out to Matson. Matson to Malmstrom. He's got Roimala to beat. Strumer there for the assist on defense. The pass sent back to Liam Williamson in his own territory. Over to Bexbucke. Down the line, Matson trying to spin around Pisila. He'll trip. Still maintaining possession, though. The steal there by Alex Dokledal. Over to Setu Roimala. On a force. Down to Strumer. Chipped in the air by Bexbucke on the close wing. Strumer. His pass blocked there by Malmstrom. Malmstrom now in center court. Chipped away by Pisila. Off the wall to Dokledal. Jaguars back in Florida territory. Roimala coming in close to Dokledal. Saved by Peter Schlad. Malmstrom to Jalevi. Lukas Jalevi. Off the back wall to Max Lindborg. And the momentum dying out there for the Jaguars offense. It was an intense flash while it lasted. Now Florida going to look to reset. Jalevi out to Lindborg. Deep shot attempt goes off the helmet of Ture Husi. It's going to be Florida's hit in here. Olomoutsky and Williamson. Olomoutsky to Larson. Back to Williamson. Shot lacked enough power there. Matt Nunez trying to get it out for the Jaguars. The pass going back to Holomowski. Lindborg recovering there for Florida in his own territory. Jalevi coming in. The pass to Luke Williamson sailing wide. Tyler Radical now spinning it around one man. Larson boxing him out, but Ryan Folick's there for support for the Jaguars. Folick off the wall looking for Matt Nunez. Luke Williamson able to chip it out. It'll be Ipa Lunki now facing double team coverage from the Florida Vikings. It's going to be ruled Fort Worth ball. The pass down. Jaros back to Alonen. Down to Engerstieg on the close wing. Yole Cruz, head coach and player now with the pass to Engerstieg. Bexbucke rushing there. Williams losing his stick, and Engerstieg used it to capitalize. No, it's a save by Schlad. Peter Schlad again showing us why he was all-NAFL first-team goalkeeper last season. Wojtek Janacek now coming down the middle. He'll beat out two men and get a shot attempt off, but it sails high out of bounds. It'll be a Fort Worth Jaguars hit in with 13:48 still to go in the second period. Cruz to Engerstieg. Yole Cruz down to Alonen. Down off the wall. Jaros there hitting the ball off Kopetsky. It'll be another Fort Worth hit in. The pass down. Alonen back to Cruz. Sabi Alonen coming in center lane. Back to Cruz. Diagonal pass down looking for Jakub Jaros. Chipped up by Wojciech Janacek. And the steal by Engerstieg giving Jaros an attempt, but it goes off the foot there of Oliver Bexbucke. Janacek to Kopetsky. The spin around Alonen. It's good. Sailing past Urehusi. The Kopetsky offensive extends the Floridian lead there to 5 goals. 13-11 still remaining in the second. Your score now, Vikings 6, Jaguars 1. And back down on the court, getting ready for the faceoff. It'll be number 17, Emil Matson, up against number 88, Pepe Strumer. And recovery by Florida. No, Roimala driving. He gets it in the net, but there was a penalty call. The goal does stand. Number 94, Seti Roimala, capitalizing there. Nearly looked like Florida was going to have the recovery on the faceoff, but with a quick steal and shoot, Seti Roimala putting the Jaguars on the board for the first time in the second period. With 13:06 remaining in the second. It's getting closer again. Your score, Florida Vikings 6, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. And because of the goal, referee Vince Faso says the two cancel each other out. The would-be power play against Florida canceled out by Roimala's goal. Jalovi down the line. Malmstrom over to Lindborg. Incredibly quick passing here from Florida. Down the wall, Matson down to Strum. In the middle, Malmstrom. Matson chipping it just around the goal. Pass down the wall to Lindborg. Emil Matson back to Lindborg. Over to Jalovi. Jalovi back to Lindborg. Florida looking to outlast the defense. Jalovi! It's good. Incredible cross-court assist pass there. Matson to Lukas Jalovi. Essentially an ISO play there, drawing most of their field players to the far wing. Centure Husi looking to the left. Leaving Jalovi ready for the kill shot. Florida with a quick answer to Seti Roimala's goal. 12:24 remaining in the second. Your score now, Vikings 7, Jaguars 2. Recovery by Florida. Oliver Bexbucka now with the ball off the back wall, looking for Liam Williamson. Nico Gray hustling, trying to get there first. Won't be able to. Bexbucka goes off the stick there of Tyler Radical, but still Alexander Larson able to find it, trying to weave around in traffic there. It's going to be a Florida hit. Larson to take it. We go to Williamson. Williamson shot saved by Husi. Williamson, nearly another opportunity, chipped away there by Ipalunki. Bad Nunez. Coming around. Chip pass there. Intercepted by Larson. Larson now on the close wing, coming around. A pass. Sails past Luke Williamson. Goes off the foot of Radical. Now it's number 70, Ryan Folick on the attack. It'll be caught up in the legs of Bexbucka. The pass now to Liam Williamson on the back line. The pass being drawn down now. Wojtek Janacek fresh on the substitution now with the ball. We'll go back to Lindborg. Over to Jalovi. Lindborg. Deep shot attempts. It had power, but it sails out of bounds. It'll be a Jaguars hit in. Sami Alonen. Down to Jaros. Alonen. Pass chipped away there by Janacek. Bringing it in. Janacek still fighting for possession. Kopetsky there for the assist, but Alonen now driving into Florida territory. Goes over to Kopetsky. Kopetsky with the pass to Lindborg. Gets the Fort Worth Jaguars retreat. Lindborg coming in the middle. Shot goes off the body of Angersteig. Christian Sario looking for a pass to Angersteig. Wojtek Janacek reading the offense. Able to jump the passing lane there. Janacek coming in close. Jalovi behind him. Pass, cross court, finds Kopetsky. Behind the goal line to Lindborg. The pass. Wojtek Janacek goes off the body of Angerstieg. The pass back out to Jalovi in center court. Lukas Jalovi to Wojtek Janacek. The shot again blocked by Angerstieg. Elonen with a block. Ekrus with the steal. Sorio to Angerstieg. Now it's a fast break here for the Jaguars. Angerstieg driving, stolen by Jalovi and Kopetsky. Shipped away by Elonen. It's a game of back and forth here. Angerstieg going to the floor, and it's going to be a penalty. And that'll be number 71, Wojtek Janacek, with a penalty called there. It's the second penalty against Florida this game. The first, of course, being canceled out by the fast break goal by Seti Roimala. In that penalty call coming after a collision with Isaac Angerstieg behind the play. And with 10 minutes, 1 second remaining in the second period, Fort Worth is going to enter power play. We'll see if they can use it to gain some momentum back here against this high-octane Florida Vikings team. And we'll see if they can use it to start chipping away against the Vikings lead. Pisela working with Strumer, over to Force. Roimala, shot attempt saved by Schlad. Dokledal back down to Force. On to Force, over to Oskar Pisela. Looked like he was waiting for a shot attempt. Instead he'll go work with Strumer. Cross court again to Force. Roimala coming out from the center. Strumer, the man in the box. The pass attempt to Strumer sailing wide. Bexbucka capitalizing. Florida sending it down the line. Bexbucka still driving. Emil Matson. It's good. What an incredible sequence there. Oliver Bexbucka with the pass to number 17, Emil Matson. Florida scoring a goal, still a player down. Even if Fort Worth can still perform in power play, it won't change the now 6-goal lead coming from a 5-goal lead. Your score, 9:23 remaining in the second. It's Florida Vikings 8, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. Certainly not the outcome Fort Worth was expecting. It's a goal in just 38 seconds of power play, not by the team you'd expect. Florida doing a great job of converting to offense during power play against them this season. That's not their first time they've pulled a similar stunt. Heading back down now for the faceoff. It's going to be Kopetsky against Force. Recovery by Florida. Jalovi on the far wing. Trying to chip the ball to the center. It'll be taken by number 22, One Force. One Force. Going down far wing to Roimala in the middle. Off the body of Kopetsky. The pass back out to Force. Roimala, Pisela, Strumer. Kopetsky there with a steal on the pass between Strumer and Pisela. Lindborg out to Kopetsky. Strumer battling to take it. He'll be able to send it out to his man number 22 on a Force, however. And 45 seconds remaining in power play here against the Vikings. Can Fort Worth capitalize? Pisela back out to Force. Roimala to Force. Over to Pisela. Shot attempt goes off the body of Max Lindborg. Florida's bench very excited about it. Another shot by Pisela. This time off the body of Jeko Kopetsky. Lukas Jalovi on the far side. Getting stopped up by Dokledal. Jalovi going to the ground. It's going to be a hit awarded to the Florida Vikings. 21 seconds of power play remaining. Lukas Jalovi over to Linus Malmström. Getting the angle on Pisela. It's a quick goal saved by Ture Husi. Linus Malmström behind the goal. Over to Matson. Broken up by Dokledal. The last seconds of power play dwindling down. Wojtek Janacek set to come back in. Power play officially over. One Force over to Dokledal. Coming around, cross-court pass off the wall to Pisela. Pisela back to One Force. Finally seen some playing time for this first line. 2 shot attempts saved by Schlad. One by Roimala, the other by Strumer. even with the first line, they still haven't been able to get their passing game up to par. It's allowed Florida to keep the pressure on. Lukas Jalovi now with the ball, looking to sub out. He'll find a man to pass to. Back to Jalovi. Driving in close. The pass to Lindborg. Jalovi retreating now, close wing. He'll take it. Going into the box, nearly converting to Holomoski. Pass sailing wide. One Force able to get there for the Jaguars. Passing around, One Force. Back behind his own goal line. Holomoski still pressing. Kopetsky there to pick up the slack. And he's able to chip it away. Turre Husi able to grab it. One Force going over the wall there. The slow pass to Sami Alonen. Over to Jorle Cruz. Off the wall to Angersteig. Over to Sorio. Shot sails wide left. Stays in bounds. Jakub Jarosz getting it through the legs there of Wojtek Janacek. Williamson's pass intercepted by Angersteig. Coming around. Over to Sorio. Back to Cruz. In the middle to Angersteig. He'll lose control. Wojtek Janacek now with the ball. The pass to Kopetsky. Saved by Husi. It's going to be a Fort Worth hit is the call. Adam Holomoski not too happy about that call. Oskari Pisela over to One Force. Pepe Strumer back to Force. In the far corner, Roimala getting a pass to Strumer, taking out Linus Malmström on the offensive. The ball chipped. Matson able to recover. He'll send it back to Lukas Jalovi. Jalovi to Lindborg. Down the line, Malmström, cross-court, Matson, it's good! Another goal for Matson. His second goal of the game. The Florida Vikings only continuing their dominance over the Fort Worth Jaguars. 5:45 remaining in the second. Your score now, Florida 9, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. This score getting close to mimicking the final box score from the Troy Cup Finals last season. That game resulting in an 11-3 victory for the Vikings and them being the inaugural champions of the Troy Cup. We're certainly approaching those numbers here in play. Right now it seems the old story rings true between the two teams. Off the back wall to Bexbucka. There's still a lot of time for the fate to change here for Fort Worth, though. As we know, floorball is a fast-paced, high-energy sport where anything can happen. Just like we've seen this run of unanswered goals by Florida, it's certainly capable for Fort Worth to have the exact same thing happen, and there's still time for it. 5:10 remaining in the second period, and of course the whole third period of play. Ball chipped in the air there off the stick of Bexbucka, staying in bounds. Nunez to the ground. Nunez chipping the ball closer to open court. Oliver Bexbucka there to recover for the Vikings. The pass now. Alexander Larson getting the angle on Folik. Driving in now, shot attempt, wide right. Husi trying to go for the save. Luke Williamson able to deflect it before he can get there. It's going to be a Florida hit. Luke Williamson to take it inside to Stepan Holomoski. But the pass sails wide. Jorle Cruz on the offensive for the Jaguars. Over to Jarosz. But his shot sails wide and out of bounds. It's going to be Florida's hit in with 4:42 remaining in the second. Down to Jalovi. Off the wall. Back to Jalovi. Over to Lindborg. Kopetsky and Lindborg on the far wing. Now driving to the center. The pass to Jalovi. Kopetsky on the far wing. Juking out Jarosz. That pass deflected off the stick of Christian Sorio. Cruz trying to box out Holomoski. Lindborg able to get there first. Kopetsky with a pass to Holomoski. Back out. Wojtek Janacek, shot deflected. Isaac Angersteig now on the offensive for the Jaguars. Chipped up by Kopetsky. Jalovi getting it into center court where Wojtek Janacek was waiting. Chipped away though. Jakub Jarosz trying to get a pass off. He'll miss the ball. Jalovi with the spin move around the Jaguars defenders. Impressive footwork. Over to Kopetsky. The pass back to Jalovi. Lindborg. Shot sails wide right. A chip attempt by Kopetsky, nearly good, saved by Husi. Sami Alonen now for Fort Worth, driving center court. A juke around, shot sailing wide left. Penalty call. And it's going to be a 2-minute penalty here for Lucas Jalovi. But now it looks like it's a double penalty. It's going to be number 11, Jakub Jarosz, in the penalty box there. The call from referee Vince Faso, delay of game. Fort Worth captain Oskari Pisila not happy about the call, discussing there with Vince Faso. And what would have been a power play opportunity there for Fort Worth just got negated. Both teams will be evenly matched. A field player down. .336 remaining now in the second period when we come back into play. On a 4, set to take the hit here for Fort Worth. They'll go to Pisila. Down to Strumer. Back to Pisila. 3 of the members here of this shortened line, Pisila, Strumer, and Force. Of course, reunited. They played for the Jaguars last season. We're in the Troy Cup Finals. A great save there by Schlad. And Schlad, of course, the goalkeeper in the finals last season for the Florida Vikings. Malmstrom, the kick down deep into Fort Worth territory. Seti Roimala is going to get there first. Strumer, back to Roimala. Taking his time, no press here from the Vikings. Pisila, diagonal pass there to Force. Going back around, facing pressure. Over to Roimala, to Pisila. Into Strumer, but it's deflected by Malmstrom. Linus Malmstrom. Pass attempt to Madsen. Back to Malmstrom. Ole Strom, can he get a shot off? The ball in the box there, but unable to convert on an attempt. One Force trying to chip the ball away. Pisila boxing out and going to the ground. One Force also stumbling. Force, Pisila, Strumer, and the rest of their line for Fort Worth, traditionally such good ball handlers that they're able to respond to pressure well, and they have enough support that a press defense is never an issue. But it seems Florida has gotten their number with some of the presses they've been doing. And with their players' defensive skill, it seems to have made it an even match. Alex Dokledal on the far wing. Come back down to Alonen. Angersteig now. Close wing. Cross court to Dokledal. Driving in. It goes off the body of Bexbucka. A minute remaining on both teams' penalties. Dokledal out to Angersteig. Angersteig on the close wing. Cross court pass intercepted there by Kopetsky. He's got Holomoski with him on the fast break, but instead he'll go with the safe out. Lindborg to Bexbucka. It's the pass out. Dokledal there for the steal. Now it's a battle on the close wing. Lindborg still fighting for the ball. He'll get it off to Bexbucka. Both penalties ended there. Holomoski now in the back corner with Dokledal. And the pass back to Angersteig. Deflected. Now to Holomoski. Down to Lukas Jalovi. The juke around Jarosz. Deko Kopetsky on the close wing. Taking his time. The pass to Max Lindborg. Jalovi to Bexbucka. As Florida makes substitutions, we're hitting the 1 minute mark left in the second period. Florida still with a 7-goal lead. Jalovi, the juke around Roimala. The pass deflected by Dokledal, but the second try able to make it to the wing. Lindborg, the spin around, goes off the leg of Pisila. Alex Dokledal now. He'll send it back to Bippe Strumer. On a Force. Strumer in the center, back to Pisila. On a Force. Cross court to Pisila. Less than 30 seconds remaining. Force down to Strumer. The shot attempt goes through the legs of Limborg, but it sails wide left. Dokledal getting it out to Pisila. Quick pass to Force. Dokledal. The push there by Jalovi. Pisila to Force. Force facing pressure there from Holomoski. 10 seconds left. Strumer's shot goes off the leg of Peter Slad. They'll have the hit in with 5 seconds left on the clock. Strumer to Force. To Roimala. The shot attempt saved by Slad. Pisila's last shot before the expiration of time in the second goes off the body of Larson. At the end of 2, your score, Florida Vikings 9, Fort Worth Jaguars 2. Floorball fans, what a crazy game it's been so far in this Troy Cup rematch, and it's not going to end anytime soon. We're going to be back in less than 12 minutes with the third period of the exciting matchup between the Florida Vikings and the Fort Worth Jaguars. And, of course, stay tuned during the intermission as we'll have another exclusive player interview.
It's okay.
Well, floorball fans of the North American Floorball League, we've just finished yet another exciting period here between the Vikings and the Jaguars. I'm joined here by Lucas Jalovi. How are you feeling after the second?
Yeah, I think we have game under control. We play good with the ball. We lost some stupid balls in the middle zone, which some counters for opponent. But I think, game is under our control.
Now, what's the feeling on the court? From the booth, it definitely seems like it's getting tense on the court. Emotions are running high. Of course, it's been a penalty-heavy game. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I think it's like normal when one team is losing, then they try to do a lot of. We do some stupid fouls. So yeah, I think it's quite normal. It's in norm, I think.
Now, what do you think is going to be the key for your team to continue keeping this high level of play in the third period?
Yeah, I think just play easy with the ball. Don't lose some stupid balls. Don't do some stupid passes. Not so much risky, and just play easy with the ball and wait for some mistake from opponents.
Understood. Lucas Jalovi, thank you. Stay smart, stay in school. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in less than 10 with the third and final period of the matchup between the Florida Vikings and the Fort Worth Jaguars. Well, floorball fans, it's almost time to head back down to the court for the third period between the Fort Worth Jaguars and the Florida Vikings. But before we do, we'd like to remind you that the NAFL wouldn't be possible without the help of our sponsors. As you know, we sent out our explorers to search the galaxy, and they came back and told us there was only one stop for everything floorball, floorballplanet.com. Whether for yourself or for a club, your one stop should be floorballplanet.com. And, of course, the NAFL has an official clothing partner for the 2023 season. It's Kempa. If you like what our referees are wearing, then you like Kempa, from head to toe, from shoe to shirt. And, of course, as we head down for the face-off, you can trust that the game ball is the only official game ball of the NAFL. Excel, because like the NAFL, Excel chooses to rule. And fans, don't forget, if you're curious about any stat from the NAFL, you can find it online at statbeat.com/NAFL. Search all games, past, present, and future, points, assists, and rankings, all available and more at statbeat.com/NAFL. Improper face-off, it's going to be a Fort Worth ball here to start off the third period. The pass by Onefors, over to Strumer. Fort Worth lost a lot of momentum in that last period. They were staying close and competitive in the first, but Florida started running away with a lot of unanswered goals to start off the second. Fort Worth has had a hard time regaining some of that momentum. As we mentioned before we went into the break, this is starting to look like the score chart from the Troy Cup Finals last season, where Florida pulled out an impressive 11-3 victory over the Jaguars to become the inaugural champions of the North American Floorball League. We'll see if Fort Worth can use this third period to supercharge their performance and get back on top. Strumer to Akrus, back over to Onefors. Onefors, the far side. Off the wall, a fine Akrus into Roimala, saved by Schlad. This, of course, has been a tense game. A lot of penalties that we saw, especially in the second period. Seeing a double penalty call at one time. We spoke during the intermission with Lucas Jalovi. He told us that he sees this as business as usual. Whenever you have a high-scoring game, whenever you have highly competitive teams, he says this is just the lay of the land. And he said as for Florida and their strategy heading into this third period, it's to continue doing what they're doing, ensure that they're not letting some balls go away. His quotes essentially saying, don't be stupid on your offensive strategy. And certainly, by the scoreboard today, we can see that Florida has been the furthest thing from that. The save by Schlad off his hand. Lindborg to Malmstrom, down to Jalovi, back to Malmstrom. Working down the line, Malmstrom looking for a pass to Matson. It sails wide. Nico Gray chipping it out, but it'll be found by Lindborg. Matson to Jalovi. Jalovi, Strum, Matson. That shot going off the body there of Jaros, recovered by number 59, Sami Alonen. Full court press from Florida there, forces a deep pass down. It'll be recovered by Lucas Jalovi. Facing some pressure there from Gray, a spin move, and he'll get around him. The pass to Linus Malmstrom. A juke around Gray. Gray, a lot of hustle, not giving up there on the defense for the Jaguars. Alexander Larson on the close wing. Back out to Oliver Bexbucke. Pass off the wall, recovered by Liam Williamson. Down to Holomoski, pass sailing wide. Joel Ekrus to Roimala, chipped up there by Larson. Jaros still trying to get possession. He'll get a pass off to Ekrus. Down to Alex Dokledal, over to Onefors. Down around the wall, Ekrus to Roimala. Another save by Schlad, nearly losing it. Able to hold on to it. The ball rolling back to him, able to pick it up again. He'll go with a pass to Larson off the wall. Lucas Jalovi facing defense there from Ekrus. The press man in the 1-2-2 zone. And it seems the tables have turned. Florida now taking the backcourt passing techniques out of the Jaguars' playbook and using it on them. Janacek coming around the center lane. Down pass to Kopetsky. Over to Jalovi. Back to Kopetsky. He'll have some trouble fielding the pass there. That's going to make him improv. He'll go with a pass to Lindborg. Back to Jalovi. Down to Kopetsky. Can he make it work? Second time the charm. Losing control again. He'll have to go back into his own territory. The pursuit there by Roimala, now retreating for the Jaguars. Down to Lindborg. Trying to get around Strumer. Strumer trying to reach around. Dokledal able to get the ball there off of Strumer's pressure. The pass to One Force. One Force waiting for substitutions here for his team. Ore Strum for the Vikings, looking to capitalize, pressing up on the new look offense here. Forcing Angersteig down court. Strum getting in there. He'll force a pass to Jaros. Jakob Jaros on the far wing. Angersteig behind him. Ore Strum, the up man here. Some pressure. Not able to stop the pass to Alonen. Angersteig, far side. Down the line, he'll find Jaros. The sweep shot, it's powerful, but it's high, out of bounds. It'll be a Florida Vikings hit-in. Coach Niklas Jonsson calling a play there from the sidelines. Matson over to Williamson. He'll lose control of the ball. It'll sail into the corner. Trying to get a pass off. It'll be intercepted by Jaros. Chipped away by Williamson. Malmstrom almost with an opportunity. Olestron unable to recover there for the Vikings. No matter, it's a Florida hit, and they're taking it quick, trying to catch Fort Worth by surprise, catching even their own substitutions by surprise. The shot there, sailing wide left. Emil Matson with the pass back to Olestron. That offensive attempt made when two players were still coming out from the Florida bench. It was a bold move. Cross-court pass to Lindborg. Back to Jalovi. Around Gray, Strum, back to Jalovi in the center. Juking around off the right post. A posting out there for Jalovi, and it'll be Alonen now for Fort Worth. Handed off to Strumer. New line coming in here. He's got Force in the backcourt. Luke Williamson pressing for the Vikings. Force to Strumer. Fort Worth taking their time. Nearly a steal there by Jalovi. But that defense is going to result in a free hit here for Fort Worth. On a Force. They'll send it down to Ekrus. A deep pass there looking for Roimala. It'll sail deep, though. Fort Worth going to have to recover, costing them some ever-precious time here in the third period. Nearly halfway elapsed. Down the line, Joel Ekrus in the back there, coming around into Roimala. Setu Roimala there, putting Fort Worth on the board. They're the first to strike in the third period. With 13:40 remaining in the third, your score now, Florida 9, Fort Worth 3. And for Setu Roimala, that's a hat trick. The top and only producer of goals so far this game for Fort Worth. Only extending his lead in the race for the most points in the NAFL this season. Radical recovering there on the faceoff. Down to Alonen. Over to Angersteig. Angersteig driving. We get around two Vikings defenders. Sent a shot down, but it sails wide left. Slot there recovering. Williamson with a fall there on the far side. Coming down, Kopetsky. The pass in, attempted by Janacek, saved by Ture Hulsi. Go to Angersteig. Jakob Jaros. Angersteig coming around center lane. He'll go down. Jaros. Facing some pressure there from Holomoski. Now Alonen. Kopetsky starting to press up further and further there for the Vikings. He'll cut back to respond to Jaros, taking the wing. Radical, the pass to Jaros. The spin around Janacek. Smooth moves here from Jakob Jaros. The pass intended for Nico Gray, sailing wide. Sami Alonen there trying to recover. Kopetsky chipping the ball out and away. Wojtek Janacek driving down now. The ball is in open waters. It'll go off the stick of Radical. Jaros driving down. Ball chipped in the air by Jalovi. Peter Slad with the catch there. Jalovi to Matson. In the center there, Malmstrom to Jalovi off the wall. Off the back wall is going to be Malmstrom. Malmstrom gets it to Lindborg. Matson to Strum. Emil Matson over to Malmstrom, driving in. The shot attempt is good. Linus Malmstrom. A slow but steady sweep shot, and he gets it across from the center lane. Florida with a quick response to Seti Roimala's goal again with 11:54 remaining in the third. Your score now, Florida Vikings 10, Fort Worth Jaguars 3. An impressive display so far. That puts Malmstrom there for a hat trick on the game. As we head back down for the faceoff, it'll be Alexander Larson on Pepe Strumer. Recovery by Fort Worth. One force, working with Strumer on the far wing. Fort Worth still playing slow here, looking to get their passing game back up. On force, down to Strumer. Along the line to Akrus. Facing pressure there from Bexbucka. Tumbling down the wall. The hit awarded here to the Fort Worth Jaguars. Akrus down to Dokledal. Over to Force. Akrus, the spin around. Williamson going behind the goal line to Roimala. Seti Roimala now with his second 4-goal performance for the Fort Worth Jaguars. Once again remaining the only producer for the Fort Worth Jaguars this game. They're starting to find their stride here in the third period. With 11 minutes, 20 seconds still to go in the third, your score now, Vikings 10, Jaguars 4. As we head down for the face-off here, it'll be Kopetsky on Strumer. Drive there by Roimala, chipped away by Jalovi. It's a mad grab now. Wojtek Janacek trying to box out Strumer. Stabilizing the possession there for Florida, but the pass goes wild. Akrus able to get there for the Jaguars. Dokledal to Force. Off the wall, Strumer. Cross court to Akrus. Back down, Strumer to Akrus. Off the foot of Lindborg. Now Florida with the opportunity to drive. Will go to Janacek in the center. Dokledal sending it to his goalie, Ture Husi. Pepe Strumer, far wing, working with Force. Strumer, Akrus, Roimala shot attempt, saved there by Schlad. Max Lindborg now driving. Cross court, Kopetsky. Olomoski missing the shot attempt there. Now it's a battle in the far corner. The hit's going to be awarded here to the Florida Vikings. It'll be number 5, Jacob Kopetsky, set to take it. Off the wall, finds Jalovi. Diagonal pass to Wojtek Janacek. Lindborg and Janacek now working on the close wing. No press so far from Fort Worth. Head coach Joel Akrus playing for the Jaguars today, calling for substitutions there to his own bench. Number 77, Linus Malmstrom, waiting for his own team to make substitutions. Number 95, Trent Kling, goalkeeper for the Florida Vikings and returner, former champion, is now in. Emil Matson, set to take this free hit. Go to Malmstrom, back to Matson, driving in tight, trying to get around, goes back to the back corner. It's Malmstrom on Angersteig. In the middle, shot attempt there by Matson, deflected, but it's back to Bexbucka. Shot sails wide left. Strum trying to find Malmstrom. The shot chipped away. Bexbucka's going to have to recover there after the chip from Williamson. Matson to Bexbucka. Over to Williamson. Bexbucka in the middle to Monson. Over to Williamson. Florida increasing the passing pace, but not driving just yet. Matson to Malmstrom in the center. Another answer by Linus Malmstrom to the Fort Worth Jaguars with 8:59 left in the third. Florida keeps cementing their lead. Your score now, Florida Vikings 11, Fort Worth Jaguars 4. It seems for the time being that fate has bound Florida to a 7-goal lead. At least that's how their players have been behaving. Continuing to respond to Fort Worth offensives. Fort Worth still with some momentum here in the third. We'll see what they're able to do with it in the last 9 minutes. Strumer back to Force. Strumer trying to send a pass off the wall, stolen by Jalovi. Jalovi now driving in the center lane. Blocked by One Force. Force. Ekrus shot saved by Trent Kling. Kling about to send a ball down. Go the pass to Lindborg. The Florida Vikings bench very happy about Trent Kling's save. Janacek, the shot saved by Ture Husi. Recovery by One Force. Pepe Strumer on the far wing. Strumer taking it slow. Holomoski and Kopetsky playing up for the Florida defense. Holomoski trying to sneak up from behind. He won't get there in time before the pass to Force. Now Roimala on the far wing. Force backed into his own backcourt. Dokledal cycling on the close wing. Holomoski rushing, giving an opening there for Force. Ekrus. He's got Strumer in the box. Won't be able to find him on the pass. Seti Roimala gets it out to Dokledal. Force back to Dokledal. Over to One Force. Again, cross court to Dokledal. Some chatter from the Jaguars. Not too much movement, but it's Joel Ekrus in the far corner battling for possession against Lindborg. The hit's going to be awarded here to the Fort Worth Jaguars. Joel Ekrus. Pass down the line. He'll find Dokledal. In the center there to Pepe Strumer. Force to Roimala. Out to Strumer on the wing. Cross to Dokledal. Back to Force. Dokledal now. Far wing. Holomoski starting to pressure. In the center, Roimala unable to get that shot attempt off with full power. Now it's going to be Florida with an opportunity. Kopetsky. Cross court. Lukas Jalovi. Head coach Niklas Jonsson of the Florida Vikings calling for substitutions. Fort Worth going to take the opportunity for their own. Emil Matson. The pass back out to Malmstrom. Over to Bexbucka. Williamson missing that pass. Folik taking the opportunity to pressure. Sami Alonen there with a steal from Emil Matson. Getting it around Williamson. Sami Alonen with some force there. The pass to Angersteig. The shot sails wide out of bounds. It's going to be a Vikings hit-in. Malmstrom set to take it. 6:19 remaining in the third. Malmstrom on the far wing. Coming around, over to Williamson. Shot sails high out of bounds. It'll be a Jaguars hit-in. Jaros to Angersteig. Cross court to Alonen. Williamson continuing to press there. Angersteig on the far side. Trying to get a spin around Williamson. It'll work. Coming now into center court. It'll go back out to Alonen. Alonen cross court to Angersteig. Down the line. We'll find Ryan Foldick. Off the wall. Angersteig now. Darting around. Sami Alonen with the ball. Advantage play granted Fort Worth. A shot attempt saved by Trent Kling coming from Jakob Jaros. Bexbucka now on the offensive for Florida. Both he and Jaros going to the ground. The hit will be awarded to the Vikings. And play's going to be paused until the staff can wipe off the court there after that collision. It'll be number 71, Wojtek Janacek, volunteering to do the job himself. Now play ready to resume. It's going to be Lukas Jalovi with the ball. Lindborg coming around, looking for a sweep shot, goes off the stick of Roimala. It's sent down deep into Florida territory. Janacek in the center there, the pass to Jalovi. Kopetsky on the close wing will go instead to Lindborg. Olomotsky's pass to Lindborg. The shot attempt sailing high, bouncing out of bounds. It's going to be Florida's ball. The team calling for a change before they take the hit. Emil Matson set to take it for Florida. Colin Williamson into motion. Cross-court pass to Malmstrom. The slap shot sails wide left. Seti Roima spin around. He'll find Alex Dokledal. Over to Pepe Strumer. Back to One Force. Williamson starting to pressure. One Force with the juke around. The pass to Akrus. Off the post there, Seti Roimala nearly getting 5 goals on the game. Matson pressing against Strumer. Back out to One Force. Advantage play here for Fort Worth. Strumer down to Akrus. Akrus behind the goal line of Florida. The pass to Force, trying to find Roimala in the center, but it goes off the feet there of Malmstrom. Strumer now coming around. The pass to Force. Over to Dokledal. Sweep shot attempt deflected off the body of Matson in the stick of Becksbuck. Now the pass out to Malmstrom. He's on the offensive here, driving in deep. Luke Williamson narrowly missing that shot. Lose control of the ball. Now it's Matson in the corner with Dokledal. Emil Matson to Malmstrom. Goes off the body of Strumer. It's going to be Florida Vikings hit in. Florida heading to the far corner. It's going to be number 5, Jacob Kopetsky. Set to take it. He'll have Wojtek Janacek with him. To Janacek. Coming around behind the line. Chipped away there by Angersteig. The pass down to Lindborg. He'll lose control of the ball. Not enough pressure from Texas to make it count. Janacek. Pass back to Lindborg. Over to Jalovi. Back to Lindborg. Fast passing here from the Vikings. Cross court to Kopetsky. Impressive pass. Just misses Janacek. The shot attempt by Olomoski. Saved by Turehusi. Sailing all the way down. Lindborg on the recovery there for the Vikings. Lindborg. The pass to Olomoski on the outside of the goal. Sailing out of bounds. It'll be Fort Worth's hit in. Angersteig to take it. Angersteig. The ball chipped away there by Kopetsky. It's still in bounds. It's going to be awarded here to Fort Worth. Pass down the line. Attempting to find Radical, chipped away by Janacek. Now it's Alonen with the ball. Less than 3 minutes remaining. And a penalty call there. Referee Sean Eden saying there he gave him an opportunity. Number 5, Jacob Kopetsky going to be coming out here. Fort Worth going to enter power play with 2:51 left on the clock. One Force heading back. Set to kick off play here. Down to Dokledal. One Force over to Pepe Strumer. Ole Cruz. Back to Strumer. Working the far wing, passing there for Fort Worth. Strumer to Force. Roimala coming out of the center. Shot attempt sails wide right with help from a save there from Trent Kling, chipping the ball away. Ekrus to Strumer. Back to Ekrus. Over to One Force. Roimala, shot attempt goes off the body of Linus Malmström. Dokledal recovering there for the Jaguars. Strumer working with Force. Cross court to Strumer. The pass to Ekrus. Over to Dokledal. Misses the goal. He'll shoot wide left. Bexbacka. Now to Matson. Down deep to Malmström. Chipped away by Strumer. Strumer able to get away with it. Malmström retreating. On a Force. The shot attempt saved by Trent Kling. Sending it down. And now it's going to be a penalty shot call. Both teams clearing the court. Is coming already is Jakub Kopecki in the box. But Florida now going to have an opportunity, even down a player, to still make a score after that call. It'll be number 21, Luke Williamson for the Vikings. He'll take it against goalkeeper Ture Husi. Now the NAFL has one special rule for the penalty shot, and that is that there's a 15-second shot clock imposed on the player. Luke Williamson, he'll hit it high and left. And with a minute and a half remaining, Florida pulling away further. Your score, Florida Vikings 12, Fort Worth Jaguars 4. And for Williamson, that was his second in the league. It was an impressive shot, slow and steady, wins the race. .39 seconds remaining here in power play. The ball sent far back into Fort Worth territory. Taking their time, less than a minute and a half remaining in the game. Strumer back to Ekrus. We'll see if Fort Worth can reach down in the gas tank, try to find some energy to make one last score. Strumer, shot goes off the body of Jalavi. On Force recovering, 1 minute remaining. Ekrus shot saved by Kling. Great work there off a powerful shot from Ekrus. Malmström driving over to Matson, saved by Husi. 45 seconds on the clock. The pass to One Force. Power play is over. Roimala to Dokledal. The ball chipped out of bounds. It'll be Florida's hit in. Lukas Jalavi set to take the hit. He'll send it down off the wall. Kopecki over to Janacek, saved by Husi. Another save off the Holomoski shot. A third save. Rapid fire succession saves there for Ture Husi. Less than 30 seconds remaining in the game. Can Fort Worth score one more time? Joel Ekrus coming in close. The ball chipped away there by Holomoski. 15 seconds on the clock. The steal by Kopecki trying to get around Force. On Force going behind his own goal. One last shot sent deep. Hit out of bounds by Jalavi, and that's the ball game. Your score in the Troy Cup rematch between the Vikings and Jaguars, it's Florida 12. Fort Worth 4. Certainly a similar story from the Troy Cup match last season. It's only going to leave Fort Worth hungry as they fall to 3-1, and the Vikings continue on their route back to the championship, advancing to 3-1. These are two very skilled teams we know, and we'll be seeing them perform well the rest of the season. Floorball fans, don't go anywhere just yet. We're going to have an exclusive post-game interview for you. And, of course, in just over an hour, we'll be coming back to you with more floorball action live from Georgetown, Texas, when the Texas Tornadoes take on the Minnesota Growlers.
Headband or not?
Well, floorball fans, we've just gotten done with the Troy Cup rematch between the Vikings and the Jaguars. I'm joined here by goalkeeper number 95, Trent Kling. Trent, how are you feeling after the victory against the Jaguars?
You know, honestly, I think it was a good team effort. We knew from the beginning that if we could focus on ourselves and control the game, play our tempo on offense, that we would have a possibility of a good day. And our top line did so well. Our second line ground, gave the opportunities up for the top line, but also credit to our box play, man. We ended up with, I think, 3 goals on the box play, one of them on the penalty shot and then a couple early in the second period. So honestly, a great team effort, and I think the guys are pretty happy with this one.
Now, Trent, you're coming in as a Troy Cup champion. You were in the match, the original, between the Vikings and the Jaguars. How do you think yours and your team's experience last year in the finals has informed your play this season, especially against the Jaguars?
Well, you know, we've played them a lot, and they have a lot of the same players from last year, and even the players that they've introduced this year, a lot of the American guys, Nico Gray and Ryan Folick and Tyler Radical. I've played against them in U.S. tournaments a lot, so we do have kind of a scouting report. I've seen them enough in the crease. This is now my 3rd game against them, so I know a little bit about what they want to do, and that always helps. But the counter to that is they also know what we want to do too. So, you know, it's a little bit of a give and go. They know my weaknesses and what our team wants to do. I know what they want to do, and our team knows what they want to do. So it's great. It's like a chess match, and I'm so thankful that we have more of these chess matches to come.
And Trent, last question. What do you think's the rallying cry of the team? Obviously, coming off of some big wins, what do you think is the emotion going forward in the season?
Yeah, our emotion, you know, we're trying to control our emotion a little bit because we want to focus on, I mean, like you say, one game at a time, and I know that's cliche, but what we're looking for is incremental improvements. We want to improve period over period, game over game, and I think that's what we saw. You know, this game was probably our best complete game. If you take out the first 4 minutes, the other 56, we played a great team game. And so I think our emotion is that of like, hey, that's a great win. let's put that behind us, focus on Fresno tomorrow. Fresno's been playing lights out so far this season, and we know they're going to be a tough test, and we're going to focus a lot of our energy on them now. So.
Well, thank you, Trent. Always a pleasure with you. Trent Kling, number 95. Floorball fans, don't leave just yet. We've got one more match of exciting floorball action to close out the day. Join us at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to see the Texas Tornadoes take on the Minnesota Growlers. Until next time, I've been your host, Tanner David.